to give the people what they want. It's Jalen and Jacoby.
He is Jalen Rose.
What up, though?
I'm David Jacoby.
And on the cool check-in.
Together, we are Jalen and Jacoby on ESPN Radio and ESPN2. What do we do?
We give the people what they want.
I don't know what the people want, but I definitely know what this dude wants. This dude wants to eat an insane amount of McDonald's food in a very short amount of time. Take it away.
This is 4 Big Macs, 4 large french fries, and 4 milkshakes, 7,500 calories of food. Go.
It's 4 large fries and 4 milkshakes. Why are people spending their time doing this?
What is the purpose?
How long would it take you? How long would it take you?
In 31 seconds.
It would take me never.
Never o'clock. I would finish that right around never o'clock. Let me just say this. 1 Big Mac, 1 large fries, and a milkshake, that would mess me up for like 3 hours. I wouldn't feel right for 3 hours. I feel bad for this dude. I really do. So
No
Jalen,
doubt about it. That'd be a shock to the system, especially coming from somebody that used to eat like that every single day.
Jalen Rose, Wednesday night, 4 fans were kicked out of Fenway Park because they unfurled a gigantic anti-racism banner. You saw it. We all saw it on the Green Monster. There's a huge banner that went down that says, "Racism is as American as baseball." I cannot lie. When I first saw the banner, I read it as a pro-racism banner. If you are going to spend the time to break the law and unveil a huge, gigantic anti-racism banner, don't you think you should make your message a little bit clearer?
And that's where we hit a fork in the road, because for me, it was distinct, it was clear. The only thing that was missing was an exclamation point. I knew exactly what they were trying to get accomplished. I appreciated the effort of bringing awareness to the baseball game, the Green Monster, a stage that now we're discussing it, and I was not confused at all by their message.
Not even for 1 second. You never looked at it for 1 second and was like, oh, wait a second. What does that say? What are they trying to get across?
Not at all, because there's a lot of symbolism in a lot of things that get said and or slogans. So for me, I always think about when people talk about baseball being America's pastime, that's the reference that they were referring to. When you say, make America great again, things like that, I understand what that means subliminally, and for the audience of people that are trying to be attracted by that.
I just feel like if you're going to spend the time to make a huge banner, to make a huge statement, you should make your statement more clear, because I was confused by it. I had to read up on it and figure out that it was an anti-racism banner. I'm not pro-racism. No, it's pro-racism around here. We're all anti-racism, but I just feel like you should make your message a little clearer. That's all I have to say. If I was going to make the banner, it would just say like anti-racism on it. It would be very clear. So the pictures, so everyone would understand exactly what I was trying to do. Next.
But also, what about this? Do you think that deserves to be ejected from the game?
Well, they were sort of ejected. I think you cannot make it okay for people to unfurl gigantic politically charged banners on top of your stadium. I understand that, but they were actually not punished. Our research staff here, i.e. our producer Harlan, shout out to you, read the whole article, because you know me and you just read the headlines, and they were not truly punished. They were not arrested. There was no true legal ramifications, and they were not banned from the ballpark or anything like that. Next, we have this. At the Code Conference in New York, Adam Silver was talking about NBA presentation and the new generation and appealing to millennials and Generation Z and everything that everyone's trying to do now. And he said that the antiquated way that we are presenting basketball games to a television audience needs to change, and that it should look more like video games on Twitch. I know we're talking about the commissioner, and that can get you in trouble, but I have one simple question. Is that a failed test?
I think so.
I think so too. I think he's like, guys, I got an idea. You know how the video games are trying to look like basketball games? What if the basketball games look like video games? It's like, stay in your lane, Adam Silver. Like,
See
how about this? You're a
LeBron
lawyer.
James in cartoon.
Yeah, like, you're a
going
lawyer.
down the paint looking like the Incredible Hulk.
You work on the collective bargaining agreement. You suspend players. You do that. Like, let's let the television producers produce a television over here, okay? Come on, man. That's a failed test, Adam Silver. I understand what he's trying to say. Like, I think it would be cool if you could watch live the same game with your friend across the country and have running commentary and more information on the screen. Like, I think what he's saying at his core is, like, I understand it, and I think he is correct. But saying that you need NBA games to look like video games, that's a failed test, Adam Silver. Big fight this weekend. I'm extremely excited about Triple G facing Canelo. It will be a real fight, one of the biggest boxing matches of the past few years. For certain, it will not be the sort of show that we had with McGregor-Mayweather. But this made me really understand who was going to win this fight. While Triple G was training, he was told that his wife was delivering his child. He said this to his coach, quote, "Coach, we have a fighting coming up. The baby's going to be here whether I'm there or not. We have a fight coming up, and we're going to concentrate on the fight." That's it. Triple G's winning the fight. Triple G's winning the fight. Does this guarantee that Triple G is winning?
It guarantees that he's focused, he's disciplined, and there's a reason why there's a 0 in the loss column for him as a competitor at 35 years old. And to see both of these fighters in the ring is going to be something that's so great for sports, so great for boxing. It's not going to be the circus that we saw with Floyd and McGregor. It's truly going to be one of note. And don't be surprised, this is just the first one. There's no way they can only do this once. It's going to be that thrilling. And if I need to go on wax and say who I'm picking, I'm taking Cinnamon, the redhead, to win.
Ooh, I'm taking
Canelo.
Triple G. I think that Canelo will be a great adversary for Triple G, and that will be a great fight. But the bigger fight in his future, the fight with his wife. I know if I'd skipped my birth so I could work, my wife would be so pissed. I wouldn't even be worried about Canelo. I would be worried about her. Shout out to you, Joey Jacoby. When we come back, Draymond Green had something very interesting to say about Kyrie Irving, and we found both of their
Saginaw Pride.
LinkedIn profiles.
All right.
That's next on Jalen and Jacoby on ESPN2. There is a carbon fiber fanny pack that is for men, the Manny Pack. It keeps your beer cold, charges your phone. Soft move or boss move?
Anything that keeps your beer cold, if it's not a cooler or a refrigerator, soft move.
Wait a second. We might have a problem here, Jalen. Beer koozie. Soft move or boss move?
I dreamed that I would make it to the NBA. And I was like, yo, I'm going to have a jacuzzi and fill it with 40 ounces. And I didn't realize this until I made it to the league. Like, wait a minute, you can't put all of that glass in there.
I love doing this show with you because when I say beer koozie, you think I'm referencing a jacuzzi full of beer. Welcome back to Jalen Jacoby on ESPN Radio and ESPN2. Jalen Rose, your guy, Draymond Green, chimed in on the whole Kyrie Irving, Kyrie Gate thing. Here's what he had to say, quote, "I'd say more than anything up to the respect level I have for him. It's tough to do. I don't think people take into account that he put so much pressure on himself doing that. But the willingness to do that, knowing the pressure that comes with that, I'm ready to do it. That's what stood out to me." A lot of questions about this. But first, is Draymond just happy that he's no longer on the Cavs?
First and foremost, he like, woo, that guy that made that right wing jumper
Yeah.
and beat us in the NBA Finals in Game 7 ain't going to be on their squad?
Yeah, he's
The
just
guy
happy.
that LeBron could turn to the last 2 minutes and get a basketball to, and he can make a play on a big stage. But you can't overlook the fact that, in particularly last year, Isaiah Thomas was as good as it came in the fourth quarter in the NBA. Mm-hmm. So if and when he gets healthy, he's still going to be a problem, which, by the way, the Boston Celtics and Isaiah actually gave the Golden State Warriors some fits over the last couple of seasons while they were having,
that's a good point.
obviously, amazing seasons. But what Draymond Green was referring to, he was actually being hypocritical.
Oh.
And not truly saying what he felt. It was more about happy that Kyrie wasn't there. I'm going to give you an example. The Golden State Warriors are affectionately known as a super team.
Mm-hmm.
So say Klay Thompson decides when he becomes a free agent that he don't want to be in the shadow of Steph and KD anymore. And all of a sudden, he wants to go and be the #1 dude on the squad. The same wouldn't be said for him. That I respect the fact that he wants to go to be the #1 guy. We would say, you leaving a chance to win chips?
Yeah, he's greedy. He's selfish.
Yep. 2? Correct. So, for Draymond, a guy that embodies team, like I appreciated his game in college. He was 40 pounds heavier. He changed his body. He became a better three-point shooter. He's the glue to what allows them to play what's considered a death lineup. A guy at 6'7" that can guard 7-footers, yet lead the team in rebounds and assists. So I think it was more about Kyrie exiting stage left than the actual commentary that he gave.
What I really want to talk about is Draymond Green's LinkedIn page. The internet has unearthed a LinkedIn page that I believe is Draymond Green's, and he lists this. Basically, LinkedIn is those emails you always get. It's like the one social media site that some of your friends are on, but like no one's really on. It's supposed to be for like professional networking or something. I don't have a LinkedIn page. I know you don't have a LinkedIn page, but it's basically your resume online. And here's what he said, his LinkedIn page. I played in 2 Final Fours while at Michigan State. Specialties, mid-range jump shot, working with kids. He also, here's his experience, student athlete, clerical work at the Gillespie Group, and working at Tom Izzo's camps. Come on, Draymond. You got to update the LinkedIn page. You got to.
That's that Midwest blue-collar work ethic. He like, if this NBA thing don't work out, I'm trying to get a gig. I'm getting out here early.
I want to punch it up, though. There's some grammar problems. There's some capitalization issues. Like, oh, come on, Draymond. One thing I found really interesting while I was looking at Draymond's LinkedIn page is Kyrie Irving, who he was talking about, also has a LinkedIn page. Kyrie Irving's LinkedIn page has his location as Akron area,
Boston.
Ohio. Maybe Draymond's isn't the only LinkedIn page.
He probably doesn't frequently update it.
Yeah.
I think it'd be more fun if you tried to go pull up Kevin Durant's Black Planet page.
I remember Black Planet. Oof, good old days. Your guy, Odell Beckham. You've talked about him going to the club and chasing the fun and then losing the playoffs over and over and over again. Well, he hasn't been playing for the New York Giants. He wasn't playing for the New York Giants when they lost to the Cowboys. He practiced for the very first time today, ran some routes, seemed okay. But there's a report in Page 6, God, I love Page 6, that he was in a dance-off at a nightclub called Catch against Russell Westbrook. When you have an ankle injury, when you are not practicing, should you be doing a dance-off with Russell Westbrook?
A couple of things. So I've actually been disappointed at multiple people that I've seen on television talk about this topic because to me they weren't being real.
I only watch Jalen and Jacoby.
That's why we have this program, because I want to take this opportunity to do such.
Cook.
There is such thing as optics, how things look and or how they could be perceived by others that aren't in your shoes. You end last season on a boat in Miami,
shirtless,
partying. Your team loses that Sunday. You have the entire off season to do whatever you like.
Mm-hmm.
When the season opens back up, unfortunately, you get injured in a preseason game. And before you even play for your team, you back out hanging at the spot. It goes from being optics to facts. And here's a fact. You injured your ankle playing football. If me and you had a show,
okay,
and I was hanging out partying all night,
you would never do that.
And then I hit you in the morning and said, I'm not going to be able to make the show because I'm hungover. That would be considered unprofessional.
Absolutely
That's
unprofessional.
exactly what this is.
I would write you a very strongly worded email.
Your obligation and the reason why you are a celebrity playing in the NFL, making the kind of money you're making from your shoe contract and from the NFL, though he's underpaid, is because you're really good at playing football.
Also a good dancer.
That opens up the door for you to be at the spot, hanging out in this instance with Russell Westbrook. That's one. Two, he doesn't have a hand injury. He has an ankle injury. So if he doesn't have a teammate or somebody in his life that won't call him on that, like, homie, you already know we need you on Sunday. If you need to be at home doing extra rehab, that's what we expect you to do. Or be at home sleep. But you cannot, A, be at the spot, number one. I don't care what everybody keeps saying. It's his off day. He can do what he want to do. Take it from somebody that's been in the locker room. You know what players in team sports hate to talk about? The other guy. I don't care if it's Michael Jordan. I don't care if it's Magic Johnson. Especially if the other guy is always doing something that's non-football related in this instance. Everybody gets in their car at the end of an NBA game when Steph Curry misses a shot. You know what the other 14 guys tell their significant others and their families?
I was wide open. You should have passed it to me. Yeah, I was open on the other side, just like you do about the Final Four loss.
No doubt about it. And so the optics, aren't good, but it's bigger than that because it's facts. You've now bookended last season at the spot in Miami, getting it in, with this season doing the exact same thing, and you haven't played a game yet. Oh, and by the way, your team lost. The offense looked terrible, and they have my Detroit Lions on Monday Night Football? Oh, man. It's going to be problems, Odell.
Jalen Rose, I love your passion. I love your commitment. I love how you articulate your feelings
on my fantasy team.
But that's the only reason you're mad. You're only mad because he's on your fantasy team. You spent too much money on your fantasy team. That's what it is, Jalen Rose. Got nothing wrong with going to the spot. There's just something wrong with missing a game because of your fantasy team. Coming up next on Jalen and Jacoby, we have some very concerning information about teddy bears. I'm not kidding. Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby on ESPN2 and ESPN Radio. Jalen Rose, not the biggest Selena Gomez fan, but I found this story very interesting. She received a kidney because she needed a kidney. I hope she heals as soon as possible. I wish her the best health. However, she got that kidney from a friend. If I needed a kidney, would you give me a kidney?
You my brother, but I can't commit to that.
Oh, what? See, here's my thing is I would give you a kidney, but I wouldn't bring it up. Like, if you had kidney problems, I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, man. I put my arm around you. What's the plan? Like, how are we going to do this? You would have to specifically ask for my kidney. And then when you ask for my kidney, I'd be like, look, of all the kidneys out there, I'm not sure mine is the one that you want. Like, I put some miles on this kidney, you know? But I would do it for you. I just wouldn't bring it up. But I'm glad that you wouldn't even consider giving me a kidney. Thank you very much.
I didn't say I wouldn't consider
it. Yes, you said. Yes, you did.
I'm one of those medical mavens where all of that stuff makes me a little bit nervous if I'm not operating at optimal performance. And so I would strongly consider it, but I don't think I should promise that right now because you're not going to need one. Okay.
I would give you a kidney, but I would make you ask for it. This I just found fascinating.
Speaking of kidneys with miles on them.
This is fascinating.
You sure you want mine?
No, I don't. A study said that 4 of 10 Americans sleep with a teddy bear. Hit the brakes. 4 of 10 Americans sleep with a teddy bear. Staff did some research. There are about 323 million people in the United States. That means 129 million people sleep with teddy bears. There are 74 million people under 18 in the U.S. That means 56.6 million adults. Minimum of 56.6 million adults sleep with a teddy bear. Are you as concerned about this as I am? I can't believe this. This is crazy to me. I can't believe this.
I think that's a lie. I don't believe that's true.
That cannot be true.
And just because you read it in the newspaper or see it on the internet or somebody said they did the research or a poll, It doesn't make it accurate. I'm not rolling with that at all.
So let's just imagine, let's go down the hypothetical highway for a second. Because you and I are very much locked into relationships. We are power coupled up right now. But if I was single, hypothetically, and I was dating somebody, and I found out that they slept with a teddy bear, I would have to seriously consider breaking up with them. I really would. Like, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can see my future where it's like, all right, it's time for bed. Me and you and Snuggles. Let's all go to bed now.
What about those that get in relationships and their significant other possibly have pets? So you go from not having a pet to having one plus the pet sleeping in the bed.
You know, they say
what do you think about that one?
They say there's 56 million people that sleep with teddy bears. There are so many more dudes out there pretending to love their girlfriend's pets. You don't love that dog, dude. I know you don't love that dog. You're acting like you love that dog. Before we go, today's a very special day. It is Nasir Jones' 44th birthday. I want to give him a salute, and we also want to use this excuse to run this picture. What is happening in this picture with you and Nas, Jalen?
It's not past the limitations of what I say can incriminate either one of us, so I need to allow that to continue to happen.
Don't
Happy birthday,
get us
Nas.
fired.
As Jacoby says, you got banners up. Illmatic is all-time classic. You got a chance to take down Jay in a battle. A power couple with Nicki Minaj. Salute, family. And
See
he
you
keep
tomorrow.
a crisp
Jalen
cut,
and Jacoby
too.
on ESPN2.
And he got bars!
You got to give the people.